Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Matthews. I'm Director of Public Policy, California Public Policy for Facebook, and my job this morning is to welcome you all here. So welcome. See you. First of all, this is, I believe, the second time we've had the absolute honor and pleasure of hosting Connect18. I believe it was the first time we did. So we're glad to do this a second time, and hopefully we'll do this again. This is a very important event for us at Facebook for a lot of reasons, starting with the name, Connect. As you all know, it's a very big, important part of Creed, or our focus for Facebook, about connecting communities, connecting people, connecting the world. And so this purpose of this organization, this effort, is hand in glove with how we believe we should approach things in terms of specifically connecting with our local communities and how important that is to be a part of it for us. It's a huge part of our mission. In fact, I mean, for us, we can talk about connecting the world. It's not some abstract concept. That starts the minute you walk out the door, right? The world is right here, right around us, the minute, and it's really important for us to remember that, as we do, in terms about connecting the world. I want to take a point of privilege for a real second here, and they don't know I'm going to do this. Juan, Ashley, there's Augie, I see Maya, and Anna. Can you raise your hands or be present here and be recognized for a second? Absolutely. I wanted to take a moment to not just acknowledge their efforts in putting this together, but these are some of the most talented people I've ever worked with. They're smart, they're dedicated, but even more important than that is they understand intrinsically in every moment of their job and their day about what it means to connect and what the relevance and what the importance of community is to our work. Not just job, but also, and it permeates in terms of the rest of the company. I find it really fulfilling for me personally. So I wanted to thank them and their efforts and how great they are. And then I'm going to get out of here and out of your way and let you get to the real program. My job finishes, but I'm going to introduce another person who understands the importance of that and dedication to community as well, is Supervisor Slocum from San Mateo County. It's an honor to have you here and help lead us this day, and I turn it over to you. Thank you.
Let me thank you all for getting up at dark 30 to get here to Facebook. It is the second time we've been here on the campus. First time being in 2014. We've actually done 6. I think this will be the 6th Connect conference. And our theme this year, as you can see from your program, is transforming communities through technology. Is that good? Yeah. First of all, let me thank Michael Matthews for his introduction and for having us here. We really appreciate it. And thank you to both Assemblymember Marc Berman, who's right here in the front, and Samcita's Roseanne Faust, who's dealing with my microphone problem, I guess, and the Redwood City San Mateo County Chamber of Commerce for their partnership and continued support of this event. Also, a fellow who needs no introduction, of course, our partner in crime, Assemblymember Kevin Mullin. You know, I, along with my San Mateo County colleagues that are here, are very, very proud to serve in a county where government, business, nonprofits, and other real people are interested in technology and how technology can be used to engage people, to connect people, and to better serve our collective constituents. I wanted to do some thank yous right up front before I forget, and also maybe an introduction if I could. First of all, how's that? First of all, thanks to our, swallow the microphone, he says. First of all, thank you to the staffs of Marc Berman's office, of Kevin's office, and my office for helping organize this. And I would like those folks to stand up and just receive a thank you from you all. So if the staffs of the 3 offices. Also, an introduction. I think there's one county supervisor in the room, and he and I have been friends for a very, very long time, and I really appreciate him being here this morning. He's got the office next to mine, does a great job on the coast for the residents of the coast and for the rest of his district, Supervisor Don Horsley. Thank you. Also, you should know that we really have a lot of fun putting this conference on. The committee meets several times during the year, and as you can imagine, we have some fun, and we actually do real business and get this thing organized despite the microphone problems this morning. So to the committee and all the times that we met in Kevin's office up in San Mateo during this past year trying to get this thing together, thank you to the committee. It's always a lot of fun working with you, especially with Zach here. Well, maybe not. Several years ago, I've said this, I think, at every Connect conference. Several years ago, Kevin and I sometimes would have coffee, and actually, it's true that we sort of dreamed of holding a conference like this one, where local leaders would get together, where education leaders would get together, business, nonprofits would all come together, who share an interest in technology, in connecting people, and identifying the latest trends in technology. I remember a few years ago, I talked about, I probably shouldn't say this, but I talked about a new app. It was a P-E-E, app. And what it does is when you go to the movies, it tells you what point in the movie you should take a break. Now, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? That's pretty amazing. But yesterday, in my travels in Redwood City, I came upon a company that is disrupting or will disrupt the kitchen oven. Are you with me? In this little nondescript building, tucked away in sort of a light industrial area of Redwood City, are a group of engineers and tech folks who want to revolutionize the kitchen oven. Now you say, well, what could you possibly do with an oven? Well, let me tell you, their new oven gets rid of the need for a microwave, first of all. You don't need a microwave anymore. This oven will cook roasted chicken, for instance. It'll warm up that minute rice that you get in those little packages. It will basically do everything that a microwave and an oven will do. The unique thing about it, Kevin, is that there's no glass in front of the oven. You know how you cook, you look at it to make sure everything's going okay? This oven has no glass. It's all done through your cell phone. So you could be on the beach, on the coast, and go to your app on your cell phone, turn on the oven, cook the roast, and by the time you got home, it would be done. And the food, I didn't taste the food while I was there, but they tell me that the food is as good as a traditional oven. Now, if that's not disruption and connection, I don't know what is, but it was very, very cool. You can watch for that. It's coming to the market very soon. And a friend of mine yesterday told me he was so impressed that he bought 3 of those new ovens. So there you go. They're coming. In any case, you know, the demand for government services used to be that you'd come to the Hall of Justice during the hours of 8 to 5, you would do your business, and you would leave. The problem with that has been that real citizens do online banking, they buy airplane tickets, they look for jobs, everything basically is done online. And then there's government. And we've always lagged a little bit behind in terms of innovation, but our dream in putting this on was to bring those innovations to you. Last year we featured, for instance, an electric bus company right here in our backyard. And later on in the year, a jurisdiction bought one of those buses, those electric buses, for their school. How cool is that? And it was discussed right here at Connect. Now, maybe you'll all run out and buy ovens this afternoon, I'm not sure. But each of our 6 conferences have been designed to look ahead and to consider what's on the horizon in hopes that we may skate to where the puck is going to be, not where the puck has been. And of course, our host today, Facebook, is the preeminent in the online social networking space worldwide. Their mission is, quote, to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. They're a company of innovation and a social media platform where connecting is at the core of everything they do. They have a sign that maybe you've seen in your travels here into the space this morning that says, you can't change the world with average. And I have that sign, that poster, hanging in my office at home, and I read it every day as I'm going out the door, because for those of us in government, I think that as we look to the future, things are not going to be average, at least here in San Mateo County. So with that, Kevin, Marc, and I, of course, are finding our jobs as legislators more and more challenging as we think about how to apply these new rules and regulations for privacy, for fairness, for safety, for consumer protection, and more as disruptive innovations hit the market, and whether it be education-focused startup, changing government delivery models, ride-sharing, home-sharing, on-demand bikes that we're going to hear about later today, and other technologies that enter our everyday lives. So as we kick off Connect18, we will continue our exploration of how technologies continue to shape our society by focusing on the social impact and beneficial uses of these new technologies. Through a morning of short presentations and panel discussions, we want to explore how technology can be harnessed for the greater good. Now, we've changed up the program a little bit for those of you that have been here before. Normally, we do something called the Connect Award, which recognizes an individual or a company in the county for their work in the technology space. This morning, we're going to move that to the beginning of the program instead of the end of the program. And other than that, this will be a conference that, if you've been here before, is pretty familiar to you with Connect Talks and panel discussions. So I don't know about you, but I'm excited to get this day going. I hope you all enjoyed the bacon and eggs outside, the coffee. Thank you, Facebook, and thank you to everybody that made this possible. We really appreciate all the hard work that goes into this. So would you give it up one more time for the folks that helped us? Thank you. And let me turn this over now to Assemblymember Kevin Mullin.
Thank you, Supervisor Slocum. Warren, thank you for your friendship, your leadership. Warren was the very first person that I could come across that used the term digital democracy, and that was way, way, way back when we first had those meetings, and it's wonderful to see some of those initial conversations come to fruition. So that oven app company, that's a 22nd Assembly District company. Proud of that. And Marc Berman from the 24th Assembly District also has joined us today. Although I gotta say that it is disrupting. It's also a little disturbing, but we'll talk about that later. So let me add my thank you to the folks here at Facebook, Ashley Quintana, Juan Salazar, and the staff at Facebook for hosting us today. They have gone out of their way to make us feel at home here today. And welcome to my colleagues, Assemblymember Marc Berman, the chairman of the Elections Committee in our Assembly, who joined us last year as a host and sponsor, along with our longtime co-host, Roseanne Faust from Samsita. As a quick reminder of what a special place and time we live in, I'll briefly mention a recent Time magazine article that listed the most creative companies around the world that are, quote, inventing the future. Time called them the 50 genius companies Among them is Impossible Foods, headquartered in Redwood City, and creator of the Impossible Burger, which we heard about at Connect18. Also included are 23andMe in Mountain View, Airbnb, Everlane, Pinterest, and Slack in San Francisco, Apple in Cupertino, Netflix in Los Gatos, Opportune in San Carlos, GoFundMe in Redwood City, and Oculus, a Facebook subsidiary, soon to be headquartered in Burlingame, also the 22nd Assembly District. That's over 20% of a global list, and all based locally here in the Valley. Why this is important to me is the reinforcement that we're at the hub of innovation, and technology will continue to be more and more relevant. Those of us in the public sector, and I see many public sector colleagues in the audience today, will continue to be challenged by disruptions. So we have to continue to embrace and learn and understand what is happening. Tech has received a bad rap the past year, some of it well-deserved. We are at a unique moment in history where our institutions are being challenged by the misuse of technology. Social media, intended as a means to connect, has instead been deployed in some instances for other motives. Fundamentally, we believe in the power of technology as a force for good. That's why we chose the topics for today with an eye toward the positive and the transformative power of these technologies when introduced into our communities. The fact that we're at Facebook provides a very interesting backdrop as we explore these themes. I think our speakers will be thought-provoking and perhaps more policy-oriented than in years past. We're very glad to be joined by John Diaz with the San Francisco Chronicle, who has written extensively about the crossroads of technology and policy and always offers thoughtful and intelligent insights on a variety of topics. He'll be joining us for a panel in a bit. We'll also hear from companies that are using technology to improve how we learn, move around, get our work done, and even play, with some exercise also thrown in. These emerging technologies may also be applied for other beneficial uses. As in years past, all we ask of you is that you think about the following. How do we harness technology in all its variations and with all of its benefits and challenges to better serve those that we represent? I hope today's program will provide some insights. Just a few housekeeping items. I'm pleased to announce that thanks to Peninsula TV, set up in the back of the room, today's conference is being live streamed and recorded, and we'll edit out that first part about the microphones. And those videos will be accessible at our website, which is www.connectsmc.org. The live stream will be through Supervisor Slocum's Facebook page, and please make sure to share on your organization's Facebook page as well. And make sure that you have downloaded the Connect app so you can follow along and engage with others. And I know that a number of the biographies of our speakers will be on that app, so please take a look at that. And we're going to invite you to take a brief survey on that app at the conclusion of today's program. On one final note, for those of you here using social media, we encourage you to use the hashtag ConnectSMC on Twitter and Facebook, and make sure that you follow us. So with that, thank you all for taking the time to be here today, and I will turn it back to Warren Slocum.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm joined at the podium here by Assemblymember Marc Berman. And let me just share a little background with you on the Connect Award. When Kevin and I started talking about this some years ago, we knew that we wanted to recognize individuals, organizations, business, nonprofit, whatever it might be, who were doing amazing things in the technology space. And so this morning is no different. We're going to give I think it's our 6th Connect Award this morning. And we're always looking for individuals and organizations that have not only embraced the technology, but have used technology to enhance and improve how government functions and how that improvement might improve the lives of people that we collectively serve. So how is technology allowing government to be more responsive and better address constituent needs? How have services been elevated? We're looking for vision, for leadership, and equally important, we're looking for results. And we're looking for those who have set a high bar for the rest of us. And I think that our selection today, and Marc will tell you more in just a second, but our selection of Oracle fits exactly that description. So let me turn it over to Marc, who is going to share with you a little bit about our honoree and why we selected Oracle.
Thank you so much, Warren. My name is Assemblymember Marc Berman. I'm proud to represent the 24th Assembly District in the State Assembly, including Facebook. So I want to welcome you all to the 24th Assembly District. And Assemblymember Mullin, please get your passport stamped on your way out. This morning, we're recognizing Oracle for their remarkable engagement within our education community. And for those of you who don't know, before I was elected to the Assembly, I worked for the Silicon Valley Education Foundation, an education nonprofit down in San Jose focused on increasing access to high-quality STEM education in our underserved communities. And I would go around, for part of my time there, I was the development director, and I'd go around to a lot of the companies in Silicon Valley and say, look, you know, everybody's worried about our workforce pipeline, about the fact that we're not going to have enough workers to meet the demands of our employees, or excuse me, of our employers come 2025 or 2030, and we can continue to you know, bring folks in from the outside, which is getting harder and harder with the high cost of living in Silicon Valley, or we can train the kids that are growing up in the shadows of a lot of these technology companies. And I was, you know, I'm proud to say that a lot of the companies in Silicon Valley step up to that call and participate and really help out. But Oracle has taken it a step further, because not only are they training the kids within the schools that are growing up in the shadows of these companies, but they actually created a school within their company. And so, for those of you that attended Connect18, you might remember Colleen Cassity, the executive director of the Oracle Education Foundation, who was a presenter at Connect18. And Colleen shared with us Oracle's historic commitment to providing a home to Design Tech High School. And when I say a home, I mean constructing a new building in the Oracle campus, or on the Oracle campus, to house the school. Design Tech High School is an innovative public charter school that approaches education through a creative lens, promoting design thinking and experiential learning. Science, technology, engineering, and math play a key role in the curriculum, with some courses taught by Oracle employees themselves. Those of you that follow the local press know that when Design Tech High School was chartered, it didn't have a permanent home. It was literally hopping from space to space every few years until Oracle came to the rescue. And I'd like to read something from the school's website. I've only been in the Assembly for 2 years, but I've already been trained that when you're presenting and you want to read something, you have to ask the speaker, the presiding officer, for permission to read something. And that presiding officer is often Speaker Pro Tem Kevin Mullin. So permission to read, Mr. Speaker. Appreciate that. Thank you. Momentously, Oracle and the Oracle Education Fund have created the first Silicon Valley public school partnership by providing countless volunteer hours of collaboration, not just for student intercession and promoting student projects at Oracle Open World, but through the design and construction of a state-of-the-art campus, which the students moved into in January of 2018. Their leadership has been exemplary, demonstrating the power of foundations and private companies to alter the course of education and enabling teachers and students to explore beyond glass ceilings together. So for these and many other reasons, we'd like to recognize Oracle for its leadership in demonstrating how a private sector company can support the public sector and in the process help train a new generation of leaders who embrace technology and its potential. So I want to congratulate Colleen. We're so proud to recognize Oracle as our Connect18 honoree. Oracle is setting the standard for public-private partnerships in Silicon Valley. Thanks so much. Congrats, thanks.
Hi, thank you. Wow, well, it is humbling to be here on behalf of Oracle and to accept this on behalf of us and on behalf of Design Tech High School, because None of this would have happened if we weren't working together. We being Oracle, the Oracle Education Foundation, Design Tech High School, affectionately known as DTech, the San Mateo County Office of Education, the San Mateo School Board, Sequoia Union High School District. It takes many, many people to make something good happen. And because we're here to talk about public-private partnerships, I wanted to share a little story with you about Open World last week, which is Oracle's flagship technology conference. So I was up in Moscone Center with a group of amazing Design Tech High School students who were demoing prototypes that they had designed and built and coded in exploration classes provided by the Oracle Education Foundation and led by my team and coached by a group of wonderful Oracle volunteers. And we get a lot of visitors at Open World. We get a lot of visitors to that space where the students are showcasing. And one of those visitors was the Chief Innovation Officer for Puerto Rico, who is very interested in teaching design thinking in public schools in Puerto Rico. And needless to say, I am a fan of this idea. We all are. Because design thinking has tremendous power to teach students how to solve problems in any field, and by practicing design thinking, develop the creative confidence that makes them a force for good in the world and a force for innovation in the world. So her name is Glorimar, and we talked about design thinking, and then she said, you know, I really would like to understand Oracle's larger philanthropy. And I shared with her that we focus on 3 areas, and those are advancing education, protecting the environment, and strengthening communities. And that's a useful construct for organizing one's work and telling a story. But the truth is that the separation of those things is truly artificial, because education doesn't exist separate from communities. It exists in communities. And communities don't exist outside the environment. They exist within the environment. And when we think about the public sector and the private sector and bringing them together, while we each have expertise in those sectors, I think that the distinction between them is almost artificial as well, because we all exist in this one world. We are all citizens of this global society, and we all live on a very small, fragile, and resilient blue planet. And I think to not recognize that it's all of one piece is to miss the bigger picture and the bigger opportunity. And I hope that we will all seize that bigger opportunity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And if I could invite my co-hosts up to present the award.
So Dr. Wendy Little, who leads the intercession program at Design Tech High School, my colleague Marissa Kachikian from Oracle Government Affairs.
Awesome, thank you, and I'll hand this up to you. Congrats, thank you so much.
Okay, give it up for them.
All yours.